first radio, V.
Welcome into beautiful, sunny Huntington Beach, California. The AVP Heritage Series underway. The first stop of the 2024 calendar year for the AVP. Here on court number 1 is Capers and Muno versus Cannon and Kraft. It is do or die here in this ball game. I'm Victoria Dennis alongside Corinne Quiggle, joining you courtside for all of this afternoon action. Muno with the set. Capers.
What a great save by Therese there. Great hustle.
Saved by Cannon. In transition is Muno, read by Kraft. Out of the middle, and Cannon getting on top of that ball and down in transition. Only the first point of this ball game, and man, what a rally, Corinne.
Yeah, I think we're also going to have a lot of rallies here. We've got great teams here with Kraft and Cannon that have showed their skills on the international tour. I believe this is their first AVP together. And Sana Muno and Emily Capers, now a new team here, but also both great and experienced players.
Point going to Cannon and Kraft. Thank you for everyone tuning in nationally and internationally around the world here on our YouTube live stream. The chat is open if you have any fun facts about beach volleyball, go ahead and shoot them in there. We'll try and scan through and shout you out. If you have a fun fact about beach volleyball, let us know. And it's Kraft putting that ball away, taking us to a 3-0 start.
I always think that 3-0 in the first set feels a lot worse than it is, because it is very easy to turn this momentum around, but when you're in it, when you're on that other side, it feels not so great. But I think that Zana, an ace by Megan. Wow, what a great serve. Way to keep the pressure on them after they switch sides on that side.
Service pressure indeed, as the wind has picked up here north of the Huntington Beach Pier. This morning wasn't really a factor, but now the wind up to 10 miles an hour. We'll talk about all that fun wind side as the game progresses, but now Zana Muno at the service line. Cannon out of the middle, and it's blocked at the net by Capers.
A great angle block there. She gave Cannon back to the line, which would be into the wind, but Cannon kept going with the ball, which I like. Usually is more open than the other side. So good move by Emily Day at the net. Emily Capers now.
Cannon with that put away. Great set by Kraft. Kraft just rolling in off of a national championship.
Yeah, an incredible performance by USC. That was 4 in a row, I believe, for USC. I mean,
correct.
Just an incredible team all the way down. I mean, freshmen through seniors. Really, really impressive team. And Therese Cannon, also a USC alum and national champion.
Out of system. Dug up by Muno. Joust at the net and won by Therese Cannon up there. Both women of Troy alumna. Cannon now with the serve.
Beautiful shot by Emily Day, great composure. I really like the way Emily Day comes in the same every time. You know, she's holding the blocker, or she's holding the defender in that angle, and she's opening up that really high, fast line. That's a hard ball to dig, and really great approach by Emily.
Well said, Corinne. Serve to that outside line. High hands. Muno's there. In transition is Kraft. High line, read by Muno. Oh, and just a little dink over the net, shall I say, Corinne?
Both of these teams playing very scrappy, definitely doing everything they can not to let that ball touch the ground.
Scrappy indeed. We love scrappy defense here on the sand. Oh, and the old down the middle and a miscommunication in a partnership. Whether you're on the court or not.
Always a safe serve. I love going after that serve, splitting those two down the middle. And Zana and Emily taking good care of this wind side.
Zana with the set. Pull dig from Kraft. In transition. Going high hands, finding it in transition as Cannon and Kraft. Nice set there from Therese Cannon. Setting in transition, Corinne, is a skill.
Definitely, and a skill that you always want your blockers to have. Megan and Therese both being blockers in some regard, but in this partnership, Megan playing only defense, while Therese is at the net. But again, both of them very decorated on the World Tour, in college, and on the AVP.
Block at the net for Capers. Solidifying that seam, pressing low over that tape.
And Emily, also a new mother. Very excited to see her back on the beach.
Demonstrating that mama strength out there. And rubbing off on her partner Zana for an ace serve.
Wow, an even switch back 7-7 all.
Muno. Muno with the serve. Muno is there. Dug up by Therese, who finds the sand in transition for her side of the tape.
Therese using her height there. I love that shot. So fast and right around Emily's block. It is hard to get there as a defender.
Cannon now at the service line. Capers in the middle, running behind. Kraft is there. Holding. Cut shot. Oh, and that ball will land inside the court, tagging that sideline as Emily Capers. Once Emily Day.
Yep. Which I keep calling her, but Emily Capers, yeah, that was a fantastic shot. I love Emily's thumb down. She has a really, I love her on the left because she is able to get so sharp on that thumb down into the angle. It's one of her best attacks in my opinions, and I think we'll see a lot more of it, especially on this side because of the wind.
The wind blowing at the face of Kraft there with that serve and taking advantage of it, driving that serve into the wind and finding herself an ace. Kraft with the serve. Zana running behind, trying to find that seam, not going to find it. Zana running behind there, Corinne trying to open up that left side of the court. Let's talk a little bit about logistics right now. The wind is at the backs of Capers and Zana. Why would Zana run behind there on that play?
Yeah, so it is at their backs, but it's also coming from the water. So that right side of the court is slightly more, has more wind coming from that angle. So if they're able to move that ball around and they're able to hit it back into that wind side, I'll say, and to Therese's side of the court at this point, then they're able to, you know, make that ball drop just a little bit more, and it's likely to stay in. So I like that moving a ball around. I think it makes Therese move. It disrupts their defense over here.
Zana back at the service line, looking to earn 1 point before we head into our technical timeout, when that score adds up to 21. Zana with the serve. Cannon behind. Zana's there. No one in transition.
What a stab from Megan.
Lifted set from Cannon. Out of the net. Pokey sent. Oh, and a miscommunication from Cannon, and Kraft will give that point to Capers and Muno, bringing us within a 1-point ball game. And into our technical timeout. As we mentioned earlier, this beautiful game of beach volleyball, best 2 out of 3. First 2 sets to 21, that third set to 15. And the AVP has a new look this season, Corinne. Schedule's divided up into 3 groups. We have the Heritage events, Contender events, and then the AVP League in the fall after the 2024 Paris Olympics. So right now, these athletes are competing in the Heritage events, which are Huntington, Manhattan Beach, and Chicago, all of those double elimination formats. Then the Contender events, Denver being the first of those 4th of July weekend, followed by Wapaka, Virginia Beach, a part of that. The Contender events, a 2-day qualifier, followed by pool play and then single elimination bracket for playoffs. 40K total prize money for each one of those Contender events. Lots of volleyball, Corinne, to be played.
Yeah, and using those contender events to gather points so that people that want to get into the sport, that's their way to play in those contender events, earn points, and then eventually get into the qualifiers or the main draw and the heritage events. But everybody is looking to play in the league. Everybody's main goal, end goal is playing in that league and getting to be into those teams. This year is the first year of that, and I'm really excited to see how it turns out.
Yes, 8 consecutive weekends of league play beginning September 14th. With the championships November 9th. High hands. Zana's there. Over on 2. Zana's there again. Will it go?
High pokey.
Capers in transition off the top of the tape. Perfect set from Kraft in transition.
I'd say both teams have been able to use this win side, the good side, which now Emily Day and Zana Muno are on, to their advantage. Let's see if they can continue with that, because it's been fairly point for point in the way of everybody's getting their points on this side. They're gaining a lot, and then on the other side, you know, they're not really holding it, so they're ending up tied. So let's see if either Zana and Emily can hold it on that side, or Megan and Therese can cause some disruption on this win side.
Great pass there from Zana. Emily going over on 2 for that option play. An option being you send that second contact back over that net. We're seeing that a lot on the women and men's side.
Yeah, it's definitely growing, and I love to see it growing because it just causes so much more excitement to the game. The players are all having to look, is this coming over now? Are they gonna set? Are they gonna run it wide? You know, the movement of the balls, it's making the game a lot faster, a lot harder, and it's awesome to see.
The game is evolving every single year, especially with the collegiate aspect of it, all those athletes going through those pipelines, NCAA. What a block put down by Cannon, taking advantage of an overpass. But the youth side of volleyball now, Corinne, used to be the biggest youth sport in America was Little League. Now it is volleyball is the biggest youth sport in America. And I'm seeing a direct correlation with that pipeline into the collegiate side and now at the professional level.
Definitely. Even when I was coming up to play in NCAA, it was the fastest NCAA growing sport. So I know that, you know, younger kids, they're looking to play in college, and it's just growing so much, and then also creating such a deep field on the women's side. I mean, all of these girls came out of collegiate programs. Emily Day is the only one, I think, that didn't play beach in college. Zana at UCLA, Emily Capers, at LMU, played indoor. And then, as we know, Therese and Megan both at USC. Therese also played indoor, but then made her way onto the beach. It's just producing so many good athletes, and I love the way that they're able to explore. Like, hand setting when I was in college wasn't as common, and now every single team is doing it, no matter where you are in the country. And it's awesome to see the game develop, and I think it's going to develop far and deep within the sport.
Continuing to grow nationally and internationally. An exciting summer we have with the Paris Olympics underway. The 2 teams representing Team USA, Klothnuss, Hughes, and Chang now here in Huntington Beach.
Yeah, and they've done amazingly on the world tour. I mean, number 2 and 3 are in the world right now, and so it's just really impressive what they're able to do, but also just to know how deep the American teams are on the women's side. I mean, there's so much good competition that this is a game on the elimination side of the bracket, you know, and these teams are great teams.
Huntington Beach hosts the season opener here this weekend for the 5th time. Ties Fort Lauderdale. For most times, any one city has held the AVP season opener, and a good one at that, just like that high line from Capers.
So Megan and Therese able to get more points on that side. I think they won that side switch, and that is huge to win it on the quote-unquote bad side with the wind.
Side switch here, as we'll see these teams battle with this wind factor. Nobody there, but a sand splash on the line from Megan Kraft for a first ball side out. All right, I'm gonna throw a question to the chat here. What state in the US leads the pack with the most openers on the AVP tour? What state in the US,
You mean season openers?
leads the season openers for the AVP
Wow.
with the first tour stop of the season? What a rally. Over on one, Kraft is there. Oh, and put down time and time again by Kraft. Zana kept reading that in the seam, but Kraft ruthless there in transition for her team.
Yeah, great touches on defense here. I mean, Megan right now having 14 digs and Zana with 8, but after that rally, I think they're both gonna stack those up quite a bit. These are both heavily defensive teams here with the opportunity to score points when they have the serve.
Opportunity indeed with a put away from Zana. Zana has deep roots in her volleyball blood and was a track athlete as well. Her significant other, Micah Ma'a, made the indoor roster for the USA men's volleyball team. Will be competing with Team USA in Paris.
What a swing by Therese. I love that high contact from her. Just swinging into the angle, almost hitting it in front of Zana. That is very impressive, especially on that side with a big block like Emily Capers.
Kraft with the serve.
It's so fun to see how Megan Kraft is so versatile. I mean, she blocked the entire year in college and now coming out and just crushing it on defense.
Always fun to see that transition to the sand.
Hey, let's go! Come on.
I'm seeing in the chat here via my question from pretty girl Danny saying, I'm guessing Arizona or California with Florida as a third choice, LOL. Well, that is a good guess. I'm gonna let it marinate a little bit longer in the chat. High hands, has to go, not going to. And that point and set going to Cannon and Kraft 21-14. Corinne, how were Cannon and Kraft able to pull away there in the first set?
Yeah, well, as we saw in the beginning of that, they started off really strong. They started off on the good side and they dominated. And then when they switched back onto the onside, it became more of an equal game. And then they were able to have that break halfway through the game. And that is a huge point, like right after the technical timeout, that is your time to push. That's the time when it is close that if you can find that separation there, that gives you that advantage for the rest of the match, and that's what they did there. We'll see how this starts out in the next one. We'll see who starts on the good side and if they can take advantage of it.
Last shout out here for the YouTube chat. What state leads the pack in season openers for the AVP? Corinne, what's your guess?
I think it's California or Florida. I'm between those two. But
okay, Corinne says California or Florida. Pretty girl Danny said Florida, California, and Arizona. Jeff Johnson says California. I'll let it sit. Few more.
I want to know if I was right or wrong.
Well, you're gonna have to wait with everyone else. And this week's AVP event features 15 athletes who've played in the Olympics, either indoor or beach volleyball. Players have competed in three different countries. So we have rookies coming in from the NCAA scene and then 15 Olympians here battling in Huntington Beach, just north side of the pier.
Yeah, and I love that they put Huntington after the national championships. When I was in college, they still had them over the same weekend. So now we have the full range of athletes coming from NCAA. And oh, a call on the dig there.
Call
Therese
on that dig.
Not complaining about it. I think I would have had something to say about it, but if they're, I don't know, it's early days.
Who's to say? As we have a few of America's finest in their helicopters coming up from Pendleton, doing a little drive-by.
Zana and Emily getting off to a strong start here, 2-0 on the good side.
Indeed, Zana going after her serve, challenging that seam of Cannon and Kraft. It is do or die here in the contender side of the bracket where these two teams find themselves here on court number 1. Kraft running behind and saying, tag, you're it, to Zana on her shoulder there. That ball going out of bounds.
I think that was a great decision to go back set on that ball. She was already pushed into the middle. She got to open up the court for herself. I love that swing.
Chase P in the chat saying Louisiana holds the record for the most tour stops in a state.
Oh, and the same swing, back to back. I love that swing again. Zana's still there, but dropping almost right in front of her and to the side.
Great point, Corinne. Good vision on that attack, bringing Kraft to the service line. All-American out of USC and a 4-time national champion. Pokey deep, and Cannon will hold her breath as that ball goes deep and out of bounds.
I was holding my own breath on the side here like, oh, is that gonna tag? Especially on this wind side, that's a close one.
Kraft looking to drive this serve at the end line. Firing away on the right side, going hard crossbody swing. Emily Capers. Capers now at the end line. Cannon with the pass. Attacking. Will it go on two? It will. A lifted dig in transition from Cannon. And a put away. A lifted dig by Kraft and a put away by Cannon.
Yeah, and that's a great switch for them, especially moving on to the good side here. Emily and Zana did really well on that side, but I love Therese's ability and Megan's to go off the top of the hands there. That was really smart, really good IQ there.
Cannon with the serve. Capers off the net. Kraft dug up by Zana and over on one.
The crowd is loving that one.
An over on one from Zana will bring her to the end line.
Nice short tee.
Zana driving her serve here with that toss contact. Kraft up and over, read by Zana. In transition, Kraft firing away on that left side pin is Megan Kraft.
Yeah, using that tempo set out into the pin, making Emily really work for it, gave them that sliver down the line, and Megan took it for sure.
She sure did. Is she a rising superstar? She's been here.
She's had a lot of success already on the AVP and on the World Tour for sure. So she has been there, and not to mention being a 4-time national champion is no easy feat, and she was able to do that just in college this past 4 years. So definitely rising, but I think she was one of the youngest people to qualify even onto an AVP at 16 years old, with Delaney Maple, another stud from USC.
She sure did, and it was right here in Huntington Beach back in 2019 at the age of 16 with Delaney Maple. Later that year, the pair finished 5th at Hermosa Beach, so making waves early on in her career.
Yeah, we're seeing a lot of these young athletes coming out. I mean, it's incredible. We have people like Kennedy Coxley, Brooke, and a lot of others playing with Brooke Sweat, and just so much talent, and they're so young. Sarah Wood, too, with Ashley Patter the other year. Well, they hadn't been in school yet, and they still made waves, taking the #1 team in Hermosa last year to 3, which was Haley Howard and Kelly Kalinsky at that point in that tournament.
Zana back at the end line. Going just a bit long. Bringing Kraft back to that end line. Kraft, a native to San Diego, both her mother and father served in the US military. Her father, part of the Marine Corps, was a jet pilot, and her mother, part of the Navy, served in Iraq in the Marine Corps Combat Hospital. So big shout out to all military serving here and abroad. A Marine, or pardon me, a military brat myself. My father was in the Navy for 26 years, so big shout out to them and their families, keeping it, holding the fort down here at home while their loved ones are working abroad. Emily Capers here with the serve. Over on to Cannon and Kraft.
Yeah, I love that option, especially, I mean, Cannon and Kraft are both tall, physical players, and if they have that option on an open net, I mean, take it all day.
Cannon with the serve. Standing at 6'3" out of Pittsford, New York. Kraft is there. It'll go. Oh, and finding it on the option play is Capers there, putting it down on the sand. Back and forth action, 8-8 on the board. Corinne, I'll give you your answer to our trivia question. What stat or what state leads in hosting the first tour stop? A stuff block for Emily Capers, clamping down at the net.
And that couldn't come at a better time. They've been going point for point, and now this gives them the advantage on their serve. So that is huge, especially, let's see, on this good side, if they can take care of it.
Zana with the serve, serving in the seam. Kraft going behind. Opening up that high line on the left side of Kraft and finding success there. Kraft here at the service line. Currently batting .308 on the ball game with 10 kills. Serving Capers, who goes behind. Looking to power it through, but finding the top of the tape. That unforced error will go in favor of Cannon and Kraft.
Well, Capers still leading the hitting percentage at .368, and they're still, you know, giving the ball to her pretty consistently. Down the middle on her middle side, but still targeting her. I think Emily is doing a good job siding out for the most part, but Cannon and Kraft are finding that advantage most of the time. So it's not necessarily, it's a good strategy. It's working for them right now. We'll see if they stick with it.
Great set there from Zana, going behind there for Capers. Kraft with the pass. Up and over, read by Zana. Kraft in transition. Zana's there again. On the pin. Oh, it clamps down by Therese Cannon with that right hand, pressing low into that seam, bringing us to our technical timeout.
Yeah, part of me was thinking, oh, that's a beautiful set, but at the same time, it's just a little tight, and I think Therese was thinking the same thing, as in, that's a beautiful set, I'm gonna be right here. Hard to get it past on that part when Therese is just such a disciplined, strong blocker.
Well, it is time.
Give me the answer.
For the answer of the fun fact of the match. What state leads in hosting the first tour stop of an AVP season? And it goes to Florida.
Oh, my second option.
Who leads the pack with 16 of the 41 season openers, followed then by California with 7, including this year. So 16 have been in Florida. Fort Lauderdale being a big presence there in the earlier days of the AVP schedule. Corinne, let's dive in a little bit here about the league happening in the fall. We are so excited to see how it unfolds. The team structure, well, there's 8 teams divvied up across the nation. So that's Austin, Brooklyn, Dallas, LA, Miami, New York, Palm Beach, and San Diego. Each team consists of 4 players, 1 men's pair, 1 women's pair. That will grow as the league continues to flourish in years to come. But how do you qualify? Well, you can win one of the heritage events that automatically qualifies you eligibility into the draft. And then the remaining top 3 to 5 men and women's pairs are then ranked by points and will be eligible for the draft as well. You'll be drafted by your general manager, which those names will be released later.
Yeah, and honestly, that is why every single finish counts. So this game is huge because this is an elimination game. You know, progressing in these tournaments gathers points for you and your team to qualify you for the league. So it is huge to go far in these tournaments, and this being the first of the 3 heritage events that qualify you for that.
In the matches played in the league, there'll be best 2 out of 3 sets. Each set played to 15 points. So a little bit of a different look. It'll be all gas, no breaks there with each set to 15.
I think that'll be super interesting to see. I mean, those are going to be fast games.
Very fast games, high level play. No margin for unforced errors there. That serve out of bounds down the sideline, looking to tag the sideline of Therese Cannon, but just going to miss. It's a 1-point ball game here on court number 1. I'm Victoria Dennis alongside Corinne Quiggle. Thanks for joining us here.
Thank you for having me. No. And thanks to all the fans watching at home.
Good fun as it's a tied ball game, 13-13. As any Swiftie would know, that would be Taylor Swift's lucky number. Maybe she's tuning in here. Out of the middle, Therese Cannon, sharp angle to that left sideline.
Really getting a lot of spin on that one. I mean, that was sharp.
Sharp indeed, always showing that there's always more angle there to be divvied up.
Always more angle. Even if you're coming out of the middle, then it becomes both sides your angle.
Lifted set, placement not power for Zana as we switch sides at a tied ball game, 14 apiece.
And Emily and Zana now moving over onto the preferred win side. We'll see how this one goes. That was a great switch on their end to keep their momentum and to not let the Therese and Megan to get too far ahead on that side. So really great switch by them.
The fans are packed in and around here, north side of the Huntington Beach Pier. The general admission tickets are sold out all 3 days this weekend. Those tickets are for stadium court. But if you weren't able to get a ticket for stadium, lucky enough for you, these outer courts are free admission. First come, first serve. We saw chairs out here at 7 a.m., 2 hours before the first serve at 9 o'clock this morning. So fans have been camping out here all morning long.
Huh? Doing a
And
great.
Pokey up and over that block. Point going to Cannon and Kraft. 16-15. The next stop on the AVP journey this season, it's a Contenders Series, which will be in Denver over the 4th of July weekend. So 6 long weekends, Corinne, that these athletes have to reset, reanalyze, and rejuvenate before. That's a month and a half gap.
A lot of these athletes have had long off seasons. I mean, not for the collegiate athletes, I take that back for sure for them, but a lot of these athletes that aren't in college or aren't coming from that spot have had long off seasons to kind of either figure out new partners. There's been some switches, Emily Capers and Zana Muno being a new team as well. But a lot of people, they haven't had a lot of competition yet. So this being their first competition, it's great to experience that and to be able to look at what we did in the games and take that and then be able to improve upon that for your next competition. I mean, you don't get it anywhere else besides competition. So this is huge for everybody, and the anticipation has been big, but I know some people are coming in like, whoa, this is a change. I think April posted something about, wow, I haven't competed in a while. You know, it's a totally different experience.
Absolutely. Well said, Corinne. And a side switch here, as it is nonetheless point for point battle. Do or die here in the second set. A 1-point lead as Cannon and Kraft are on the upside on the scoreboard. Tagging that sideline and an ace for Corinne, and pardon me, Corinne, I've been saying your name so much, for Kraft and Cannon.
Yeah, I was just about to say, Megan leading with 3 aces. I think that makes it 4. I mean, she has been a weapon from the end line, and I think that's going to help them leading into the end of this match.
Corinne, what are you seeing here that needs to happen if you're Capers and Muno at the moment?
Yeah, I mean, they're on the bad side, I think, really tuned in on this side out. First ball side out, you want to be getting your feet to the ball, not letting anything drop, making sure that you're tracking really, really well. I mean, the ball is going to be dropping. Megan's a good server, so I'd say all focus on that side out right now.
Well said. Will it go overtime? We don't know.
Definitely anything is possible. I mean, I say anyone can win at any given day, and anything can happen. You're never safe until that last ball hits the ground and it's 21 or 2 points ahead. So we'll see about this game. I do think that Zana and Emily definitely have the capability to bring this back in. Let's see if Teresa and Megan can shut it down.
$150,000 is the purse for Huntington Beach Heritage Series. Payouts equal for men and women here in the AVP, as it should be. Megan Kraft with the serve. Capers blocked. Covered by Zana. Blocked again, another coverage. Kraft in transition. Is it out of bounds? It is out of bounds, and that point will keep Capers and Muno within a 1-point ball game.
That's a big break for them, and a great defensive rally from Teresa and Megan. They did everything right on the defense. Teresa getting great touches on the block, and Megan patrolling the back of the court, just missing it by inches, but volleyball is a game of inches, so great break for them.
Cannon with the pass. And finding a put away, bringing us to our first possible match point for Cannon and Kraft. Cannon here at the service line.
Yeah, pressure right now is on Emily and Zana for match point. If I'm Cannon, I'm thinking I want to put this ball right in the middle and make them play it. Or
Off the top of the tape will be the ball game. Cannon and Kraft moving on staying alive here in Huntington Beach, 21-14, 21-18. Corinne, what did you see from Cannon and Kraft to take this win?
Yeah, they just stayed super consistent throughout the whole game. They capitalized on the good side, and they stayed super steady on the other side. I think Emily and Zana did a fantastic job as well. I mean, they were scrappy. They were not letting that ball drop easy. So both of these teams really had to work and played a great match. I think both of them. Good luck to Therese and Megan in the later games, and a great tournament by Zana and Emily. First tournament together, and they played great.
Absolutely. Great match here. Thank you for tuning in and having a little fun with our trivia question. Until next time, I'm Victoria Dennis alongside Corinne Quiggle. Keep it sandy out there.
You don't know? What happened? Did you cut? You okay? Yeah, all went. Great. Damn it.